first step of creative thinking project for sprout and sapling levels, Unit 1, Week 1, is to introduce the topic of the project as well as teach the thinking tool. Now, it's important to keep in mind that throughout your time as a teacher, you're going to experience many different topics as well as many different thinking tools. So my goal for this video is to teach you the process of introducing the project and teaching the thinking tool. But it's going to be up to you to apply this process to the many different kinds of topics and thinking tools. So using this example here, the first thing that you would do with any project is to introduce the topic using this one sentence summary here. So you can go ahead, read that with students. You can say, in this project, you will make a fossil museum of the future. And you can break that down with students by asking them, okay, what will we be making? They can respond with museum. And you could just check that they know what a museum is by asking them, okay, what do we see in a museum? And they can respond with old things, or maybe they'll say art. So now that you know that they have some idea of it, you could ask them, what type of museum will we make? They can respond with fossil. Now, just as a reference point, students have been learning about fossils in their textbooks throughout this unit, so it won't be a foreign concept to them. And then you could say, okay, when can people visit our museum? And they can respond with future. So at this point, you've covered the topic for this unit. Now, I would estimate that to introduce this topic using the one sentence summary, it should take you about 1 to 2 minutes only. Okay, after that, you would move on to the next page. Okay, we will first be talking about the thinking tool. So when we get to this page here, there's a couple things to notice. First, this part here basically is meant for you. So before class, you would read through this and think of a way to teach this to students. Now, when you actually teach a class, we would show students the name of the thinking tool, and we would follow these steps using this example down here. So what that looks like, you would say something along the lines of, okay, today our thinking tool is 5W1H. So we are going to answer 5W questions. Who, what, when, where, and why, and we'll answer 1H question of how. So now let's do this example here. Okay, you can have a student read the topic. I want to open up a flea market. Okay, you can just quickly explain to students that in a flea market, usually it's an outdoor market where we sell things. And then you can start answering these questions with students. So you could just ask the question, okay, so who am I going to open the flea market with? And they'll respond, okay, my sister and I. And what are we doing? We're going to make a flea market. And where will we do this? In my yard. And you'd follow that process for the rest of these steps. So after you've done that, you've done a good job of introducing the thinking tool that they'll be using over the next few weeks. So for this time, I would estimate that it would take you about 4 minutes to teach students this thinking tool. So really you want to introduce the topic as well as teach them this thinking tool all within 5 minutes to make sure you have enough time to get through the rest. And after you do that, you'd move on to the next section of the project.